Hello guys, and it seems to me that even President Trump and his advisors have realized that Russian war in Ukraine cannot be finished in 24 or 48 hours and not even 100 days. But the good news here is that more and more of the hot front lines are now inside the Russian Federation, not Ukraine. If we have a look at Kursk region, where our special military operation continues successfully for 5 months already, we can see serious losses from the Russian side and North Korean soldiers neutralized in thousands as the Ukrainian army advances. And it is not just a simple humiliation for the Putin's regime or the demonstration of Russia's weakness. It is also a message to those who want to appease the evil. We shouldn't, because classical bullies collapse really quickly when they encounter serious force and resilience. Today, President Zelensky reported on Ramstein about severe losses among the North Korean soldiers and the readiness of Ukraine to guarantee security to Europe and the world. So let's discuss why this Kursk operation is so important, what is actually happening right now there, and what are our plans for 2025. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia, that is a very important lesson for other autocracies. Subscribe, we discuss all of that on the channel and also share information how to protect yourself against the information and hybrid warfare. So today there was a serious meeting in Germany, another Ramstein. We don't know whether they will continue with President Trump, but we are determined to defeat the evil, and I see that more and more leaders in Europe and the world realize that unpunished evil grows and ideas to reshape the world order visit other people's heads. And this is not good for peace, security, and in general, the survival of the planet. We are very grateful to all the partners who support Ukraine in this fight. I am actually astonished at how many messages I receive from you saying that it may be sometime soon more and more countries will need skills, expertise, and determination of the Ukrainian armed forces. Hopefully not, if we manage to defeat the evil. The faster we stop that, the better it is. Just a day ago, Ukrainian armed forces destroyed more than 100 Russian soldiers in Kursk region that were using tanks and BTRs and other armored vehicles. And this is another illustration that war in Russia, war in Ukraine is totally different from smaller military operations that some of our NATO partners were good at or had experience with. And what we'll learn here in Ukraine can actually be very useful for the lasting peace in Europe and the world, because I am sure you realize that one of the main reasons why North Korean soldiers came to fight in Kursk is, of course, weakness of Russia, but also the desire of other authoritarian regimes to learn what real big war is. Please don't underestimate this real combat experience. That is why thousands of North Korean soldiers went to Kursk and thousands will not return, because here in Ukraine we understand that the best way to prevent future conflicts is to defeat evil while it is still in Russia, and that's exactly what we are doing. And according to preliminary estimates, already 4,000 North Korean soldiers joined Russian soldiers in hell. Well, first of all, because they were totally unprepared, and second, because this is a big war. And smaller experiences, lack of knowledge with drones, with modern ammunition, is something that make people, countries vulnerable. And without this desire, unfortunately or fortunately, Ukraine already knows what to do. So please just help us do the job. Subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity with the people of Ukraine, and also to support this fight against evil, against bullies, against disrespect globally. You know, I clearly remember how at the start of this war, I kept repeating that unpunished evil grows, this may lead to more conflicts. And it was just like wise people said. But now I clearly see that's the reality. And it was always like that 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, and right now. So the news that the Ukrainian soldiers destroyed another unit in Kursk region while advancing, while getting more Russian territories for the exchange of 1991 borders, and the persuasion for the Russian population that you better stick to your borders. That's the best version of Russia you can have. Actually, I'm convinced sometime soon this evil federation will collapse, and this dissolution is not something you should be afraid of, and I will link a video about that. But right now, our task is to stop the advances of evil forces and this dark inspiration that they give to other bullies. North Korea experiences very bad troubles here. It turned out their soldiers are totally unprepared and like 4,000 minus. And that's a lot. These are actually striking numbers. You know that Russia has crossed 800,000. This is definitely something that would have stopped any invader, but not the Kremlin, because for centuries they do not value human life. And that is actually one of the reasons why I think that any negotiations, any appeasement will not work. And even those global leaders who pushed this idea will give up, because Russia is a country you cannot negotiate with. They do not put similar values at core of their life. And if the dictator of Russia does not care about life of his own people, what other instruments can you use to influence him? Literally nothing. So we can just keep fighting against them, keep demilitarizing Russia, and also watch Russian economy collapse, because there are serious symptoms of that, and they keep Russian ruble alive totally artificially with some tremendous efforts that once again none other country would accept. But this evil has to be punished, and I am sure that with each month, with each day, there are more and more people who realize what Russia is, especially if you look at what they did to Zaporizhzhia just yesterday, killing 13 civilians and hundreds are wounded. So honestly, I am convinced that right now it's quite obvious that the war is growing bigger, appeasement does not work, and only unity, determination, and strength can help us out. And Ukrainians are prepared to do the job. Use this opportunity, please, and please persuade those who doubt. Join me on Instagram if you want to see more updates from the Carpathian Mountains. That's where I'm now. The temperature is really warm, like plus 10 Celsius, but the nature is beautiful. And I share some photos and videos on my Instagram, also on my Twitter and Blue Sky and Threads and Discord community. All the links that you need are in the description of this video. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, and helping me film and tell you more. I'm honored to have this opportunity. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. And remember, we have minus 10% on calendars and t-shirts with the names of months, the Ukrainian names that are different from very widespread Latin months names in your languages, perhaps. But most importantly, thank you for all the conversations that you hold, for all the actions that you do to support Ukraine and to defeat the evil, and here I underline globally. This means a lot to me personal, this means a lot to the people of Ukraine, and this means a lot to people everywhere on the planet. Slava Ukraini!